good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wednesday's Market SITREP or Situation Report here at Top Gun Options. Matthew Buckley, my call sign is Wiz, and the market taking a little bit of a breather yesterday and today as we enter a little bit of a holding pattern, and we will depart this holding pattern at 2:30 this afternoon. What happens at 2:30 this afternoon? In my opinion, the most powerful man in this country right now will speak. At 2:30, we have an FOMC press conference. That's Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, gets to talk. Why is he the most powerful man in America right now? He did this. This is a Jerome Powell recovery. Okay, it has nothing to do with the economy. Even though we got a decent jobs report, a blowout surprise jobs report last Friday, it's awful out there, folks. I don't have to preach to you. I'm preaching to the choir. 30, 40 million Americans out of work. It's insanity. Race riots, COVID, and since the race riots have kind of failed, they overplayed their hand. You can really overplay your hand in America, and when you do, you look like an idiot. Defund the police. I can't wait till people defund the police. I've always wanted to live in the Wild West. I'm ready. I have always believed in a well-regulated militia, and my family is trained in its use. Good luck, everybody else. My point being is, here comes round 2 of COVID. Dr. Fauci, who's been hiding underground for weeks now, is doing hey, this hasn't even started yet. Of course it hasn't. Now that the majority of the protests are over, here you got to get back inside COVID. But you were allowed to protest? Well, we supported that, so whatever. So the reason he's the most powerful man is, folks, do you remember what happened in 2018? Let's bring up a chart of the S&P 500, SPX, and take a look at a couple years ago. In October of 2018, I remember where I was sitting right there. It was like October 3rd or something like that. You know what? The economy's doing really great. I think we're going to raise interest rates. Bear market in the blink of an eye. Do you remember this? There was no Christmas rally, man. There was a Christmas massacre. Look at that. October implosion. What's happening this October, ladies and gentlemen? An election. I'm telling you, there's going to be an October surprise right in front of the election. Out of Trump, the U.S. Attorney's Office, and Trump declassifying a bunch of stuff, but also the drink, right? I've been using this acronym lately, DRINC, and we're going to add a P at the end. Drink P, which just came to me. I probably shouldn't say. Democrats, Russia, Iran, North Korea, China, Powell. Folks, I have to find the article before our 1 o'clock accelerated retirement brief, but Bill Dudley, the former head of the New York Federal Reserve, said back around here that, you know what, Jerome Powell should start raising interest rates to screw Trump, to make him lose, to hurt the economy so people don't vote for him. What? You heard me. The Federal Reserve that day they usually don't get involved in politics. They actually came out and said, hey, that ain't us. We're apolitical. The former head of the New York Fed, appointed by Obama, said, Jerome, it's your duty, stick it to the president. So between now and September, October, November, the election, Jerome Powell, just with a few words, ladies and gentlemen, literally could cause the market to implode. That is a risk. That is today at 2:30. Will he do it now? No, I don't think so. You don't collapse the market this far in front of the election because we do have time to pull this thing out of a nosedive. I'm adding that to my acronym, folks. Make sure you write that down. Brazil, starting to hear this again through the grapevine and folks that I talked to down there. Threats rattle Bolsonaro as coronavirus deaths surge. There might be a coup. Two buddies that are, one's very high ranking in the Brazilian military. He's like, dude, this is getting ugly. This is, and it's an ominous arc for Brazil. They shook off military rule in the 80s and built a incredible democracy. And now here we come back. I mean, they had the World Cup, the Olympics. I mean, they on the rise. Now, COVID's reeking through, just flamethrower to the country. Bolsonaro thinks it's a hoax. He's running around giving kisses and shaking hands and kissing babies, and the economy's in free fall. This is ugly. But guess what? The market hasn't cared yet. Look at the EWZ, the iShares Brazilian ETF. Whoosh. Why? The central bank's buying stocks. It's pretty easy. They're doing what our Fed is doing. You can't bet against it until it does, right? So same thing with our markets. When or if these markets turn, whether it's the Bovespa in Brazil or the S&P 500, you got to be Johnny on the spot and get ready to pound these into the dirt. You have got to be able to shift your strategic mindset from if you're bullish or cautiously bullish to, my God, I'm bearish. Let's pound this thing kamikaze style into the dirt because it's not good down there. North Korea, one of my drink P acronym. North Korea assumes warlike posture, cuts off all contact with the South. Folks, this guy hasn't done any big nuke test, hasn't lit off some big bottle rockets. What if he does right in front of the election? Donald Trump has worn this like a badge of honor. Hey, man, shook the dude's hand, walked into North Korea. He hasn't really done anything. He's the dear leader. Well, what if he wants to stick it to Trump? China. U.S. warships, aircraft carriers, the battle groups for the Reagan and the Nimitz heading out to the Pacific. Here we go, folks. This is getting very, 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 very serious. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Taiwan's defense ministry said Tuesday Chinese fighters going into their air defense zone. Remember, China thinks it's China. That's a renegade province. We'll fly wherever we want. We think it's an independent country. If China decided to invade Taiwan before the election, what does President Trump do? If I'm asking you that question, do you not think that China dudes are, or people in our Pentagon are asking that question? China leverages George Floyd protest against Trump. Duh. They're using it for their propaganda. I believe they're also paying and supporting and have agents in America that are fomenting this unrest. That's what I'm hearing from people up north. So we are in a Cold War with China, which can turn into a hot war very, very quickly. But anything, who cares? The market only cares when it cares. It doesn't care right now. Welcome to the anything goes market, right? Anything goes. This week, we already closed out. I closed out an Apple Bull put spread yesterday for what, 67% profit, like $3,000, whatever it was, in a day. We are printing money. Amazon was up $100 yesterday. Look at Apple, folks. We'll talk about Apple in our accelerated retirement today and our covered call strategy. Up another 2%. Look at this run on Apple. It's $350. What was it before the world ended? 328. We've not only regained the COVID high, we've blown through it. Amazon, I'm in the Fagums, folks. I'm in, except Facebook and Google. I think they're communist country. Look at Amazon's run. There's the COVID end of the world. Here we are. We have a bull put spread on for Monday that's at 98% profit. I would close that today. Massive winning trades here at Top Gun Options week to date, and the week ain't over. So beautiful, beautiful trades. It's the anything goes market. But big warning signs to take defensive positioning. Extremely oversold positions that we'll talk about at 1 o'clock. I've seen some craziness, some Fed-induced craziness, just some FOMO rallies, fear of missing out, to POMO rallies, permanent open market operations from the Fed. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. So today at 2:30, does the Fed chief throw a little lightning into this market? Crack a little whip to let people know that this ain't going to keep going up forever here, folks. Why? The bigger we go, the harder we fall. We need to take a breather here. I call it a relief. Instead of a relief rally, I want a relief pullback. Mark, in this whole bounce off the bottom here, we've only had 6-7 day runs, pullback, 6-7 day runs, pullback. We're on like a 28-day run here, folks. We are due for a pullback. I mean, hell, around here, I thought that little 1 or 2 day pause would get us back to the 200-day moving average and then head higher. Phew, we haven't looked back. That's very, very dangerous. In the primary live trade brief yesterday, we flew out to November and got bearish. We also got bullish on volatility on the VIX, but we got bearish on the Russell 2000. Why? Because if this market implodes, it's going to take all the Rut 2000 with it. Okay? So uh, absolutely time to get defensive when everybody's rushing into this market, or not everybody, since this rally's really left a lot of Americans out and had a huge wealth transfer. It's interesting because I'll talk to people, or I'm heading down to Fort Lauderdale for my mafia dinner tonight. People ask, "Oh, you dude, how you doing?" And I can tell they're not doing well. I'm not lying, but I significantly understate how good things are going. I mean, I understand it's really bad out there, but we nailed that. We nailed this. We half nailed this. We're printing money and doing fantastic. I've never done better in nearly 3 decades of trading. This has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I do feel bad as Lieutenant Edward Matthew Buckley, call sign Wiz. As Gordon Gekko, I could give a shit how bad people are doing. I care about me and my family. Done. And I'm going to continue printing money. But that's not good, right? That's me acting like Gordon Gekko. Me, I rising tides lifts all boats. But for now, there's a lot of confusion. There's analysts saying we're going to implode financial Armageddon, to others that this market's going to rip higher. That's a little dangerous, right? And even the smart money, look at this, stock pickers underperform coronavirus turmoil. Well, no shit. All the long only funds were telling you to buy here, buy here, buy here, buy here, buy. They're broke. They wanted misery loved company. As this market imploded, all the quote smart money wanted you in. And then as the market turned and we started to rally, they didn't believe this. Oh, we're going back down to the March lows here. We're going to implode. Don't believe this. Wrong. Got this right. Got this right. They got it, both of them wrong. They suck. Do not pay a quote financial professional to manage your money. You do it. This isn't rocket surgery. Stanley Druckenmiller, legendary investor, he was blown away by the market comeback. He underestimated the Fed. What are you, stupid? When the Federal Reserve chief says, I'm going to do whatever it takes, I will print money. If I run out of ink, I'll just print it on a computer screen. When the guy gets on 60 Minutes and says, I just print cash digitally, man, I can print as much as we want. This guy has a huge house in the Hamptons, and he didn't listen. You're fired. I'm glad you don't work for me, dude. So it is a little long in the tooth here, but remember, folks, you can't trade off the left side of a chart. I can't stand when people like, well, in the past, there is no past. There's only now. Namaste. Be present. I literally, and I'm kicking myself for not taking a picture of it, I threw out like 28 investing books into my recycling bin. And I should have put Druckenmiller, Gunlock, Warren Buffett in the other bins, and they should have taken them away too. This is new. Be present. I don't care how many years you've been trading. Well, there is no last time you saw this. You've never seen this. You've never seen a market react to a pandemic. And if you did, you are 98 years old. You've never seen race riots. You've never seen North Korea, Iran, China, Russia, and the Democrats plan on doing whatever they can to screw this president. Okay? So don't give me any of this. This is what's happened in the past, so this is what's going to happen in the future. That's the dumbest thing. Whenever somebody says, I just kind of do the tactical 90-degree turn away from people that say stuff like that. Well, the last time the market, okay, our conversation's done. All right, I got to get going. We have accelerated retirement at the top of the hour at 1 o'clock Eastern. Great week so far here at Top Gun Options, but beware, we are playing a little bit musical chairs. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see many of you at 1 o'clock in accelerated retirement. God bless.